Mary in Spokane, Washington. Hey, Mary, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I wanted to point out something that people just don't even talk about, which is just amazing to me. When you were talking about government and all the people that are paying into them, to make decisions and not make decisions for us, nobody ever brings up the fact that, they're constantly trying to cut welfare, Social Security and all this. But we as American taxpayers, or I used to be, but I'm not now because I'm on Social Security, but paying in, because I pay taxes on my house either way, we're paying them like $80 an hour last time I had count to make decisions on Capitol Hill that tell us that we get the $3.80 an hour in Social Security. And people are screaming about raising minimum wage, and we're not even talking about, the Social Security end of it, living on half of, basically it's called a non-living wage.
Right.
And we're complaining about third world countries doing that. But needless to say, in all regards, our federal government are the most welfare recipients, fraud artists there is, because they have income. Most of them are millionaires. Most of them have private people paying into them. And here we are, we're paying them too. And we're paying them to make bad decisions on our behalf. So if I moved for anything besides regulations on how long you can be in term in the Senate or on Capitol Hill or wherever, we should also limit the money that they're getting, because their excuse that they need extra money for their rental status in Washington, D.C. is a bunch of bull.
Mary, the term limits makes the problem worse. Term limits means that a middle-class person can't say, I'm going to be a politician when I grow up. I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to spend 30 years in Congress. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to commit myself to my country. That's a reasonable career path. It means that people can't say that. And if people can't say that, if they're going to go into politics and they have to take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years out of their life and then try to get back into the job market after that, which they can't by and large do, then the only people who will be running for office are people who are either very rich to begin with or who are doing it for some very ulterior motive. Term limits also destroy the institutional memory of institutions, of legislatures, so that the wise old legislators who know how to get things done and how things work, they're gone. And so when the new people come in, because the term limits increase the churn rate, when new legislators come in and they're looking around going, how does this place work? The person who's standing there next to them saying, let me take your elbow and show you how everything works. I'll show you around. I'll introduce you to everybody. I'll show you how to make things happen here. That person, instead of being a legislator, presumably of the same party, is going to be a lobbyist. And that's what we see. If you look at the states that have put term limits into place with regard to their legislatures, or the city councils even that have done this, what you find is that the quality of the candidates degrades substantially, the corruption of the candidates goes up, and the power of the lobbyists is dramatically enhanced. What we need to do is get money out of politics. And this is the point that I made to Paul, is that I've had, there's no shortage of Democrats who will agree with this, that we need to blow up Citizens United. We need to undo this horrible Supreme Court decision by amending the Constitution. But what most people don't talk about is that there are a lot of Republicans. McCain-Feingold was John McCain and Russ Feingold. There are a lot of Republicans who are offended by the fact that they have to spend half of every day begging rich people for money. And they're over it. And they're saying, I don't want this either. They're afraid to say it out loud because the rich people will cut them off at the knees. But I can tell you, I've talked to these people. They're very dissatisfied with our political system as it is right now. And the solution to this, very straightforward, is to say that money is not speech and corporations are not people. We need to dial back the damage that has been done to this republic by our United States Supreme Court, by literally manufacturing out of thin air laws and doctrines that corporations are people and the money is speech that never were proposed legislatively. This is a complete violation of the Constitution. They were never proposed legislatively. never signed into law by a president or a governor. Never. The Supreme Court invented this stuff. That is fundamentally wrong.